Cristiano Ronaldo. The name instantly brings to mind breathtaking goals, impossible free kicks, dramatic Champions League nights, and celebrations that have echoed through stadiums across the world. For nearly 3 decades, he has thrilled millions with his extraordinary talent, relentless determination, and unmatched desire to be the very best. But today, this story isn't just about football. It isn't only about the trophies, the records, or the Ballon d'Or awards. It's about something that no statistic can measure. It's about the moments that happened away from the roaring crowds, the quiet hospital visits, the encouraging words to children facing life's toughest battles, the charitable efforts that reminded the world that greatness isn't measured only by what you achieve, but by the lives you touch. Before we begin, take a moment to imagine this. You're a child spending weeks inside a hospital. Every day brings another treatment, another test, another challenge. Then, without warning, your favorite football player walks through the door. The person you've watched on television for years is suddenly standing right in front of you, smiling, shaking your hand, and telling you to stay strong. For many families around the world, that moment became reality. And for them, Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't just one of the greatest footballers ever. He became a symbol of hope. This is the story of a man whose legacy stretches far beyond the football pitch. Born on February 5, 1985, in Funchal on the Portuguese island of Madeira, Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro grew up in a family that understood hardship. His father worked as a municipal gardener and part-time kit man, while his mother worked tirelessly to support the family. Life was simple, and money was often scarce. Their home was modest, and every opportunity had to be earned. Even as a young boy, Ronaldo seemed different. While other children eventually grew tired after hours of playing football, he wanted to keep going. Long after the sun began to set, he was still chasing the ball, dreaming of becoming a professional player. Many people admired his passion. Others thought his dream was impossible. After all, how could a child from a small Atlantic island compete with the best players in Europe? But Ronaldo refused to let anyone decide his future. As he grew older, his remarkable talent became impossible to ignore. Coaches quickly noticed not only his speed and technical ability, but also his incredible determination. He wanted every training session to matter. Every mistake became motivation to improve. At just 12 years old, Ronaldo made one of the hardest decisions of his life. He left Madeira and moved nearly 1,000 kilometers away to Lisbon to join Sporting CP's academy. It meant leaving behind his parents, siblings, friends, and everything familiar. For a child, it was a heartbreaking sacrifice. Homesickness became part of daily life. There were moments when loneliness
nearly overwhelmed him, yet every difficult day strengthened his belief that giving up was never an option. Years later, Ronaldo would often speak about those sacrifices, acknowledging the love and support his family gave him despite their struggles. Those early experiences shaped the person he would become. They taught him discipline, they taught him resilience, and many believe they also taught him compassion, because when you experience difficult moments yourself, it's often easier to understand the struggles of others. As Ronaldo's football journey accelerated, so did the challenges. Every new level demanded more dedication. Coaches expected perfection. Competition became fiercer. Every match felt like another test. Yet instead of shrinking under pressure, Ronaldo seemed to grow stronger. His performances for Sporting CP quickly attracted attention across Europe. One evening changed everything. During a pre-season friendly against Manchester United, the young Portuguese winger produced a dazzling performance that left several United players urging manager Sir Alex Ferguson to sign him. The legendary manager listened. In 2003, Cristiano Ronaldo arrived at Manchester United wearing the famous number 7 shirt, a jersey previously worn by club legends. It was both an honour and an enormous responsibility. The Premier League was faster and more physical than anything Ronaldo had experienced before. Critics questioned whether the skinny teenager could survive English football. He answered with hard work. Every training session became an opportunity to improve. He spent extra hours perfecting free kicks, finishing, sprinting, and strength. Gradually, the doubters disappeared. The young winger transformed into one of the world's most dangerous attackers. Championships followed, individual awards followed. Then came the Ballon d'Or. For many players, reaching the top would have been enough. For Ronaldo, it was only the beginning. But while millions watched him dominate football's biggest stages, another side of his life was quietly developing. As his fame exploded, Ronaldo discovered that success brought something unexpected: responsibility. Everywhere he traveled, children wanted photographs, families hoped for an autograph. Young footballers dreamed of meeting the player they admired most. He couldn't meet everyone, that was impossible. Yet whenever circumstances allowed, Ronaldo often chose to spend extra time with supporters instead of simply walking away. These weren't always headline-making moments. Sometimes they happened outside stadiums, sometimes at airports, sometimes during charity events, sometimes inside hospitals. One of the qualities many people have noticed is the way Ronaldo often interacts with children. Instead of treating them like members of a crowd, he frequently kneels to speak with them at eye level, smiles warmly, signs shirts carefully, and allows them to enjoy the moment rather than
rushing away. For the cameras, these may appear to be brief interactions. For the children involved, they become lifelong memories. That difference matters, because kindness is often remembered long after applause fades. As Ronaldo's popularity spread around the world, charities also began reaching out for support. Organizations helping vulnerable children, hospitals caring for seriously ill patients, and humanitarian campaigns recognized that his voice could encourage millions of people to pay attention to important causes. And on numerous documented occasions, he answered those calls. He participated in fundraising campaigns, supported organizations assisting children, and used his platform to raise awareness about humanitarian issues. While many public figures lend their names to charitable work, supporters have often pointed out that Ronaldo appeared genuinely engaged during these events, taking time to connect with the people he met. Of course, global fame also brought constant scrutiny. Every celebration became a talking point. Every interview was analyzed. Every transfer dominated headlines. Some praised him endlessly, others criticized almost everything he did. That is the reality of becoming one of the most recognizable athletes on earth. Yet despite the endless debates surrounding football, one thing remained remarkably consistent. Stories of Ronaldo's generosity continued appearing from different countries, different clubs, and different stages of his career. Some became international news, others remained known only to the families involved. Those quieter stories rarely reached millions of viewers, but perhaps they were the ones that mattered most, because they weren't about breaking records, they were about changing someone's day, sometimes changing someone's life. As Ronaldo continued collecting trophies with Manchester United, another challenge awaited him, one that would elevate both his career and his global influence to unimaginable heights: a move to Real Madrid. It would become one of the biggest transfers in football history. The expectations were enormous, the pressure was relentless, but so was Ronaldo's determination. He wasn't content with being remembered as a great player. Every season he pushed himself to become even better than before. Goals became records, records became history, history became legacy. Yet behind every spectacular performance stood the same boy from Madeira who had once dreamed on dusty football pitches with nothing but belief and determination. Perhaps that is why so many young people continue to relate to his journey. Not everyone will become a football superstar, but everyone understands the power of refusing to give up. Everyone understands sacrifice. Everyone understands hope. And maybe that is why Cristiano Ronaldo's story resonates with millions across every continent, because it reminds us that extraordinary journeys often begin in ordinary places. From a modest home in Madeira to the brightest stadiums in the world, Cristiano Ronaldo never forgot where he came from. And as his fame continued to grow, so did the opportunities to make a difference in the lives of others. As Cristiano Ronaldo's career reached extraordinary heights, his life became a whirlwind of training sessions, international matches, media interviews, and constant travel. Millions watched every goal he scored. Every trophy he lifted became front-page news. Every celebration sparked conversations around the globe. Yet, while the football world focused on his achievements inside the stadium, another story was quietly unfolding away from the spotlight. It was a story about hope, a story about compassion, and a story that many people never saw. For children battling serious illnesses, meeting Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't simply meeting a famous athlete. It was meeting someone who had inspired them through some of the hardest days of their lives. Over the years, Ronaldo has made several documented visits to children's hospitals and medical centres. These visits were rarely about publicity. In many cases, families and medical staff later shared the memories, describing the joy that spread through hospital wards when children learned that one of the world's greatest footballers was coming to see them. Imagine the atmosphere. A hospital room that had been filled with uncertainty suddenly echoed with laughter.
Children who had spent weeks thinking about treatments were suddenly talking about football. Parents who had struggled to see their sons or daughters smile watched happiness return, even if only for a little while. Those moments reminded everyone present that kindness has a healing power all its own. During these visits, Ronaldo often did much more than pose for a quick photograph. He took time to speak with children individually, sign footballs and jerseys, listen to their stories, and encourage them to keep fighting. For many families, those few moments became unforgettable. Some parents later shared that their children talked about the visit for months afterwards. Others said it gave them renewed strength during difficult treatments. No football trophy could ever measure the value of those memories. No statistic could capture the hope they created. One reason these stories resonate so deeply is that Ronaldo understands sacrifice. His own journey began with challenges. Leaving home at just 12 years old taught him resilience, discipline, and determination. While his struggles were very different from those faced by sick children, many fans believe those experiences helped shape his empathy for others. As his influence grew, so did the opportunities to support charitable causes. Throughout his career, Ronaldo has participated in campaigns benefiting children, disaster relief efforts, health initiatives, and humanitarian organizations. He has used his global platform to encourage awareness and inspire
others to contribute. Rather than making every charitable act about himself, many of these campaigns focused on the people who needed help the most. That approach earned respect from supporters around the world. Another aspect of Ronaldo's generosity can often be seen before and after football matches. Many fans have witnessed moments where he stopped to greet young supporters waiting outside stadiums. Sometimes he handed over a match-worn jersey. Other times he signed boots, footballs, or shirts. There have been occasions when he comforted nervous children who could barely believe they were standing beside their hero. To some people, these may seem like small gestures, but to a child, they can become lifelong treasures. Years later, those signed shirts may fade, photographs may grow old, yet the memory remains crystal clear. I met Cristiano Ronaldo. Those are words many young fans proudly carry for the rest of their lives. Of course, being one of the most famous athletes on Earth also means becoming the subject of countless internet stories. Social media is filled with emotional posts claiming extraordinary acts of generosity. Some are true, others are exaggerated, a few are entirely fictional. It is important to separate verified events from rumors. Fortunately, Ronaldo's documented charitable work speaks for itself. There is no need to invent stories when genuine examples already demonstrate his willingness to help others. One area where his influence has been particularly significant is humanitarian awareness. Ronaldo has supported campaigns that encouraged people to donate, assist vulnerable communities, and remember families facing conflict or hardship. His social media platforms, followed by hundreds of millions of people, became powerful tools for spreading messages of compassion. A single post from Ronaldo could reach more people than many organizations could reach in months. That kind of influence carries responsibility. Again and again, he has shown that fame can be used for more than personal success. It can also shine a light on those whose voices might otherwise go unheard. His teammates have often spoken about his professionalism and relentless work ethic. Coaches have praised his discipline. Young players have admired his commitment to improving every single day. But outside football, many people admire something different: his willingness to give his time. Time is perhaps the most valuable gift anyone can offer. For someone with Ronaldo's schedule, even a few extra minutes with a child or family can mean postponing appointments, delaying travel, or extending an already exhausting day. Yet documented stories show that he has often chosen to make those moments count. There is something powerful about seeing one of the world's biggest sports stars kneel beside a hospital bed, smile warmly, and simply listen. No cameras are needed to understand why that matters. Sometimes people don't need grand speeches. They simply need someone to remind them they are not alone. That may explain why Ronaldo's acts of kindness continue inspiring people far beyond football fans. Parents admire the compassion. Children see a hero who genuinely cares. Even rivals who debate his football legacy often acknowledge the positive impact of his charitable work. Because kindness has no club colors. It belongs to everyone. As the years passed, Ronaldo continued breaking records wherever he played: Manchester, Madrid, Turin, back to Manchester, then new adventures beyond Europe. Each chapter added more goals and more trophies. But alongside those sporting milestones, another legacy quietly continued to grow. A legacy built one smile at a time, one hospital visit at a time, one encouraging conversation at a time, one act of generosity at a time. Those moments rarely appeared in highlight compilations. They didn't always trend online. Yet for the families involved, they mattered more than any winning goal. Perhaps that is the greatest lesson hidden within Cristiano Ronaldo's story. Success is powerful, fame is influential, but compassion gives both of them meaning. Because at the end of the day, people may forget the exact score of a football match. They may forget which season a particular trophy was won, but they rarely forget how someone made them feel. And for countless families around the world, Cristiano Ronaldo's greatest gift wasn't a goal, it was hope. Cristiano Ronaldo's name has become almost impossible to separate from greatness. When people talk about football history, his name is mentioned alongside the legends who changed the sport forever. His goals have filled stadiums, his celebrations have become symbols recognized in every corner of the world. His dedication has inspired millions of young athletes who dream of reaching the highest level. But when the final chapter of a career is eventually written, the most important question may not be how many goals were scored or how many trophies were lifted. The question may be much simpler: how many lives were changed? Because football is measured in numbers, life is measured in memories. And some of Cristiano Ronaldo's most meaningful memories were created far away from football fields. They happened when a child who was going through a difficult moment received a smile from someone they admired. They happened when families facing challenges felt a moment of happiness. They happened when his success became an opportunity to support causes bigger than himself. That is a different kind of victory, one that does not appear on a scoreboard, one that cannot be broken by another player. Throughout his career, Ronaldo has shown the world the power of determination. His journey from Madeira to becoming one of the most famous athletes in history was built on sacrifice. He wasn't born into fame. He wasn't guaranteed success. He had to fight for every opportunity.
Young boy, he had a dream that seemed almost impossible. Many talented players dream of becoming professionals, but only a small number ever reach the highest level. Ronaldo's journey required discipline, patience, and an unbelievable commitment to improvement. Those qualities became the foundation of everything he achieved. But perhaps the most interesting part of his story is that success did not erase his connection to ordinary people. Even after becoming a global superstar, he continued to understand the importance of small moments. A photograph, a conversation, a signed shirt, a few encouraging words. To millions watching from a distance, these moments may seem simple. To the people experiencing them, they can become unforgettable. That is the unique power athletes possess. They can inspire people they have never met. A child watching Ronaldo score a goal may suddenly believe they can achieve their own dreams. A young player copying his training routine may discover the value of discipline. A family receiving encouragement during a difficult period may find strength to continue. Influence is not only about popularity, it is about impact. Over the years, Ronaldo's charitable efforts have shown how global fame can be used to support important causes. Through donations, fundraising efforts, and support for humanitarian campaigns, he has contributed to initiatives focused on helping people in need. His influence has allowed important messages to reach millions of people who may otherwise never have heard them. That is one of the responsibilities that comes with becoming a worldwide figure. The ability to help others, the ability to inspire action, the ability to remind people that compassion still matters. Of course, Ronaldo's career has not been without controversy. Like every public figure, he has faced criticism. His decisions, interviews, and performances have been analyzed by millions of people. Supporters and critics have debated his place in football history for years. That comes with being one of the most famous athletes on the planet.
But beyond football debates, there is another conversation taking place, a conversation about the human moments that exist away from competition. Because a person's entire legacy cannot be defined by statistics alone. A player can score thousands of goals, but the way they treat people often becomes the part that lasts the longest. Years from now, fans will continue discussing Ronaldo's records. They will debate his greatest goals. They will compare his achievements with other football legends. Those conversations will never disappear. But somewhere around the world, there will also be people remembering something different. A child who received encouragement, a family who experienced a moment of happiness, a supporter who met their hero when they needed inspiration the most. Those stories are powerful because they represent something deeper than football. They
represent connection. And connection is what makes sports special. A football match may last 90 minutes. A trophy celebration may last a few hours. But a meaningful memory can last a lifetime. That may be the greatest achievement any person can hope for. Not just being admired, but being appreciated. Not just being famous, but being remembered for something positive. Cristiano Ronaldo's journey shows that greatness has many forms. There is greatness in scoring a winning goal. There is greatness in overcoming impossible challenges. There is greatness in becoming the best through hard work. But there is also greatness in using success to encourage others. The boy from Madeira who once dreamed of football greatness became a symbol recognized around the world. But perhaps his most important transformation was not becoming a superstar. It was becoming someone whose actions could inspire hope. Because at the end of the day, people do not only remember what you achieved, they remember what you gave. They remember how you treated others. They remember the moments when you made them feel valued. That is why the story of Cristiano Ronaldo continues to attract millions of people. It is not only a story about football. It is a story about ambition, a story about sacrifice, a story about resilience, and a story about the power of kindness. The stadium lights will eventually fade. The records will eventually be challenged. New football stars will rise, but the memories created through compassion can continue forever. Because true greatness is not only about standing above others, it is about lifting others when you have the opportunity. And perhaps that is the greatest lesson from Cristiano Ronaldo's incredible journey. A champion is not only someone who wins, a champion is someone who inspires. If this story reminded you that success is about more than trophies, share your thoughts in the comments below. What Cristiano Ronaldo moment inspired you the most? Was it one of his unforgettable goals, his journey from Madeira to the top, or one of the documented moments where he used his platform to bring happiness to others? Let us know. And if you enjoy emotional, fact-based stories about the world's greatest athletes and celebrities, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and join us for more inspiring stories that reveal the human side behind the fame. Because sometimes the greatest stories are not written in record books. They are written in the hearts of the people who are touched along the way.